Hello, everyone. Welcome to Yoga with Susan. In today's class, we're going to be doing some things using props, but if you don't have any props, it's fine. Don't worry, you don't need to use them. We'll get started by having a seat down on the floor, so whatever's comfortable for you. Maybe your legs out straight, or maybe sitting in a cross-legged position. We're going to start by taking some nice long inhales and nice long exhales. So when you're breathing in, thinking about lifting up, and when you're breathing out, thinking about grounding into the earth, but not collapsing. Now in this comfortable seat, maybe you're not that comfortable. So you can use a prop. So I'm going to show you how you could just use a pillow just by sitting on a pillow. That helps, maybe make you more comfortable. Continuing your breathing here, or maybe you want to sit on a blanket. So you could sit on a blanket, kind of lifts up your hips, makes it a little more comfortable. Or you could even sit on a block. If you happen to have a yoga block, sorry about all this moving around, but just to demonstrate how you can use different things to maybe make your seat a little more comfortable. All right, let's continue on, taking some nice long breaths in, nice long breaths out. Thinking about this nice elongated, even breathing, making your inhale and your exhale be approximately the same. And see if you can keep this elongated breathing throughout your yoga practice today. Let's breathe in. We're going to do a few shoulder rotations, lifting up your shoulders, breathing out, rolling your shoulders back. Let's do that a couple times. Inhaling up, exhaling back down. One more time with the shoulder rotation along with your breath. Let's reach one arm up and over. The other hand can be on the ground, a nice side stretch, maybe looking up. And then we'll put that one down and do the other side, stretching over, looking up, and coming back to the middle. Now, if you have a strap, let's do a few things with a strap. And if you don't have a strap, you don't need to use the strap. But if you do, let's hold our strap up in the air. Or if you don't have a strap, you're just holding your arms up in the air. And then let's see if we can go over to the side with our strap, or just bringing your arms over to the side, coming back to the middle and going the other way. And back to the middle. Bringing your strap back behind you, or if you don't have a strap, just bringing your elbows down and bringing your hands back a little bit. And then coming back up, and we'll come in front and put the strap to the side. We might use that again a little bit later. All right, let's come now into our tabletop position. So we're going to be on our hands and knees here in tabletop with our hands underneath our shoulders. Knees are underneath our hips. And I always like to do a little cat-cow stretch. So we're rounding our back up for the cat. And then lowering down, coming through our shoulders for the cow. Let's do this a couple more times. Taking a breath out on the cat, and a breath in on the cow. We'll do it twice more. Do it along with however your breathing is. The speed of your breathing would be the speed of the cat-cow. Do it one more time. And now we're going to come to child's pose. You can have your knees a little bit apart. You can have your toes crossing back behind you. And you can just come back, bringing your seat towards your heels. Now, if you have problems getting your seat towards your heels, again, you can use multitudinous things here. We can use our block to take up that space, putting the block on your heels and coming down, child's pose. Or maybe you want to use a pillow, you can put a pillow there, coming down, however you want to do it. And maybe if you do have a block and you can't get your forehead to the mat, you could rest your forehead on the block. And the block has various heights. So you could use the low one or the medium one, whatever works for you. Let's keep in our child's pose here just a little bit longer. A nice little restful child's pose here today. Again, thinking about your breathing, taking a nice breath in and a nice breath out. Let's take a couple more breaths here in child's pose. And then we're going to come back to our tabletop and come back to our downward facing dog. Or I guess this is our first downward dog for today. Let's walk our hands out a little bit more in front, having nice wide fingers, starfish fingers, and then lifting your hips up into the air here for our downward facing dog. We can bend one knee, straighten the other, and alternate. If you're comfortable here in downward dog, you can stay here for a while, walking your dog if you want. But I would like to show how you could also do downward dog using a chair. So maybe that downward dog is not working for you. You can use a chair by holding the back of the chair and walking away from the chair. So you get the same sort of downward dog feeling without having to do actual downward dog. So your head is between your upper arms, just like how it would be on regular downward dog. And you kind of have the same shape. All right, so coming back now to where we were, if you are in this downward dog, we're just going to walk our our feet up to our hands and come into standing. All right, here we are, Tadasana. Oh, mountain pose. All right, standing nice and tall here in mountain pose. Let's take a breath in again and a breath out. Feeling the energy rising on the breath in and feeling yourself grounding into the earth on the breath out. We're going to do a couple more things here if you want to use a chair. If you don't, you don't have to. We're going to do tree pose. So we're going to do tree pose either with or without the chair. So if you're not using a chair, you can start with your hands at your heart. If you're using the chair, you can hold on to the chair. We're going to bend one knee, open it to the side, and then lift our foot up. And if you're holding the chair, maybe make a one-sided tree branch. If you're not, you can use both to make a tree. All right, very good. And when you're doing the tree, make sure you're not putting pressure on your knee. So either below or above your knee for the tree. Let's take another breath here, taking a breath in and a breath out. And then we'll do the other side. So coming to the other side, and again, if you don't want to hold on to anything, fine. Or you could even hold on to a wall here if you don't have a chair handy. You could start with your hands at your heart, bending your knee, opening your knee to the side. And again, if you want, you can hold on to something, a chair or the wall. You can move your foot up, or maybe if you're holding on to something, you're able to move your foot up even higher. Maybe you can do the above the knee version of the tree pose, maybe with one hand or maybe with two. Maybe your hands together above your head here in our beautiful tree pose. All right, very good. You can hold that a little bit longer. And then let's do the next thing here where if you want, you can hold on to something. We're going to bend our knee, reach back for our ankle. See if you can get the inside of your ankle instead of the outside. And we'll just hold our foot here back behind us. And now this is something you could also use a strap for. So say you're doing this and say you can't reach your foot. Then you can always use the strap. This one I find it's harder to use the strap than not, but say you are using the strap. All right, you can wrap it around your ankle and just, sorry, trouble with this one. You can just hold your foot up behind you, if that works for you. All right, let's do another thing here, holding the chair on this one side, and then we'll do the same stuff on the other side. Let's see if we can bring our knee up. And again, you don't have to be holding on to anything. But maybe you are, and maybe you can grab your big toe and straighten your leg. Now, maybe doing this one, you don't need to hold on to anything, or maybe you do, or maybe you want to skip it altogether. Up to you, but let's do the same stuff on the other side. All right, standing nice and tall first, nice and tall. We'll bend our knee, we'll reach back for our ankle. Or you can use the strap to hold on to, put the strap around your foot or your ankle. We're just gonna hold this just a smidge longer. All right, very good. And then we'll put that down, and then let's bend our knee, holding the front. And again, if you want to try it without holding on to anything, you could do it that way. And then if you want to hold on to your toe, straighten your leg. Oh, this is a fun one. All right, yay! All right, very good. Or hold on to something if you want. And then we'll put that back down. All right, let's take a breath in and sigh out. Okay. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do is called chair pose. You were using a chair, but now we're doing chair pose. And you can do it without any props, just by coming into our chair. And notice if you look down, see if you can see all 10 of your toes here. So your weight is kind of back on your heels here in our chair pose. And then if you want, you could do this chair pose using a block, putting the block between your legs and doing chair, which kind of helps to activate your thigh muscles, holding the block together. If you don't have a block, you could do the same thing using a pillow. All right, very good. And then we'll stand back up. All right. Oh, let's do triangle. Triangle pose. We're going to do it using a chair, or you could do it using a block. Or you could do it not using any of these things. All right, so for triangle, we're going to start with our legs a little bit apart. We're turning one foot out to the side. We have our arms up like a T. And we're going to reach to the side. You're not reaching down. You're reaching to the side first here on triangle. And then your hand comes down. So you're like between two panes of glass. I see people doing this like they think the goal is to get their foot to their hand to their foot, and they're like all bent over. No, that's not it. You can also use it with a block. Coming to the side, you're stretching to the side first. And then your hand just goes where it goes. Maybe even that block is too far away. And maybe you're bending towards the front to get down to the block. Then don't do it that way. Then you could try it with the chair, where then you're not bending forward at all. So it makes it a better triangle pose. Or maybe you're not holding on to anything and you just have your hand down, and maybe it only goes as far as your knee. And that's okay too. Let's do it on the other side. All right, here we go. Triangle on this side. All right, we're gonna start with our feet apart. We're gonna turn one foot if you're using the chair, have it underneath the chair, or just turn your foot out. Or if you're using a block, have the block ready on the inside of your foot there. We're going to reach to the side again, putting our hand down, the other one up. I love using a chair for this pose because then I'm not going forward. You just to the side, it's a side thing. Or maybe you can get down to the block and still be to the side. But if you start to go forward, then don't have your hand out so far. All right, let's step everything back together. We're gonna take a breath in and bring our arms up, maybe looking up, and a breath out, bringing our arms down. I didn't realize that this was going to take as long as it did. So I guess we're almost done with class, but let's just do another inhaling up and exhaling down. We will come down to the floor for one more thing here with our strap. We're going to, on this one, put the strap on the soles of our feet. And again, you can do this without using a strap. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Now on this one, we're thinking about bringing the straps down as we come forward. So you're not like pulling back on the straps, you're bringing the straps down and hinging forward from your waist, getting a nice stretch here on this seated forward fold. Let's hold this for just a little bit here, and again, thinking about your breathing. See if you can make your inhale and your exhale be the same length. And try to keep your shoulders away from your ears. And then we'll sit back up. All right. Okay, so one last thing here we'll do today. We're going to come onto our back. We're going to use this block. We're going to do, if you have a block, or you don't have to. All right, we're going to do a bridge pose, but it's going to be a restorative bridge by placing the block underneath. Someone told me a good way to line this up is think about the top of the block is even with your belly button. So that's where the alignment of the block would go. And it's a restorative bridge, so we're just going to hang out here. Maybe having it on the low one is too low for you. If you want to move it up, you can move it up to the middle one if you like that better. Or you can even move it up to the high one if you really want to. And we'll stay here for a little bit longer. Again, thinking about the breathing. Nice long inhale. Nice long exhale. And then we'll come back to the ground. Let's just come into a ball here, taking a breath in. And then extending out into our resting pose, Shavasana. All right. Feel free to stay here in Shavasana as long as you want. Maybe you like this pose a lot. Some people really like it, and some people don't know what they're supposed to be doing. All you're doing here is relaxing, feeling yourself melting into the earth, letting gravity take you into the ground. All right, I guess that's 20 minutes already. That went by fast today. So that's the end of our class. Thank you so much for joining. And if you want, you could push that like button or the subscribe button. It does not cost anything to subscribe. All right, thank you so much. Namaste. See you next time. Bye now.